Hello everyone. So, as seen in the last lecture, we learned a bit about data structures and algorithms. Now, in order to practice those things and use those things, it is vitally important that we know how to write a piece of code in some programming language. Programming language in which we give instructions to the computer. For data structures, we will be doing everything in Java. Let's understand the basic syntax of Java. When you open your any compiler, as you can see, I have opened this particular compiler. What happens? There is a public keyword written, there is a class written, there is some class name. Let's understand what this structure is. So public means this particular piece of code is available publicly to everyone. Class here means this particular structure. Class provides a structure to whatever code you will write. Class name here is the name of that particular class. In Java, it is an object-oriented programming language. That means we will be dealing in classes and objects. At the same time, we have to take care that whatever we do has to be within the norms of Java. What is a class? What is an object? Classes provide structure to your code. Object is created to use that particular structure. Okay. Object is basically memory creation at particular location to use that particular structure of the class. After this, we will also understand what is the remaining keyword. So public, as you guys mentioned, it is basically the particular piece of code accessible to everyone. Static here means this particular piece of code is permanently allocated some memory. It is always present there. So when you hit visualize execution or running of code, the code will go inside this particular class, and inside this class, it will check for any static permanently allocated memory to enter this piece of code. Normally, it enters from the main function. We call it a function. What is a function? Function is basically something with a name, return type void means only used for printing, and opening and closing bracket. If you see a particular block of code with a name and a return type. So here the return type is void. That means it is only used for printing. If it is integer, if it is string, then it is expected. This particular block of code expects me to return that value, give that value. So right now, the return type is void. That means this particular block of code will be only used for printing. I hope the terminology is very, very clear to everybody. Now, let's understand the basic syntax. In order to print something in the uh, Java language, we write system dot out dot print hello world. Let's visualize it and see how it works. Because we are printing something on the screen of the system, hence system.out. If we want to print something, then we write print, and in double quotes within the brackets, we write hello world. What is this frame and what is the object? Let's understand that. Frame is basically this particular block of code being tracked. What is happening with it? So in order to track your memory location, there are two kinds of memory here: stack memory and heap memory. What is a stack memory? Uh, a pile of things over it like this. So when a piece of code runs, uh, in the stack memory, a particular block of code with a name, we call it a function. This particular piece, we call it a function because it has a return type and it has a name and it has some parameters attached to it. It is being pushed in the stack memory. So right now, I have pushed the main function inside the stack memory and I'm at line number 3. The yellow color indicates that this is my next line to execute. I'm about to execute line number 3. When I execute that, you can very well see it prints hello world and the code is finished. We reach the closing bracket. The moment we reach the closing bracket, this particular memory will pop out from the stack, or this particular function will pop out from the stack memory. Let's understand that. When I click forward, you can see return type void. Now I cannot show that the main function is getting popped, but what happens is once you reach the closing bracket, the main particular function will get popped from the stack memory. Okay, so this was the basic syntax to print something. If you want to take an input, so in order to take an input, we need to scan the whole console, like input console. For that, we use something called scanner. So as you can see, scanner is not available anywhere. What we will do first, we have to import the pre-written libraries in order to use something which can handle inputs in Java. So what we will import Java utilities, all of them. We will import all the Java utilities from which we will be using something called scanner, which helps us scan all the inputs from the input console. But we will do that. For that, in Java, in order to use anything, we have to create an object. Everything is a class. We provide name of that class and create an object of it or a like memory of it in order to use it. What it does, we will create a scanner. We write the name of the scanner. I give it SCN is equal to. In order to create an object or like creating a memory of something, we have to use new keyword because it ensures that I'm providing some memory it somewhere. New scanner. Now, what this scanner will do, it will take input from the system. System.in. Now, what kind of input I need basically? If I need an integer input, n is equal to scanner. So I always use the name of this. Don't use the class or like whatever backend it is. Don't use that. Instead, use the name which is assigned to that particular scanner. Scanner SCN is equal to n int n is equal to SCN dot. What happens? Always it checks like this. So it is like a queue. Things coming up in a conveyor belt kind of a thing. Like things keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. So it scans this particular white section like this. What is the next input coming to me? What is the next input coming? So right now, if I write, let's say 4, so it will see that, okay, there is a 4 coming up. 4 is an integer type. So this is the next input of integer type that is coming to me, which I should scan. So next int. I took an input of n. I can print that system.out.println n. So how it internally prints? Let me tell you that as well. This print internally converts the integer n to a string format and then print this n. What is string? String is basically several characters embedded together into double for now. When I visualize execution, you can see what happens. Let's see how it works. So you can see that what is going on. It goes inside this class. It checks the static part, permanently allocated memory in which it can enter. It always enters inside the main function uh, because that is the entry point of any. Inside that, line number 4 is running. What it does, it creates a scanner object of the scanner. So it provides memory to the scanner, and then whatever memory address that is stored inside the SCN variable. Let me repeat. It is like a Aadhaar address. So you create your home, but you use a address notifier inside the Aadhaar. So that particular address on your Aadhaar is pointing towards that house which is created on ground. Similar thing like this, a scanner is created somewhere, some memory is allocated to it. Now that memory is given some address. That address will be stored in this SCN variable. So you can see Java utility.scanner instance that is being created. Now, after this, You will execute int n. So you can see n has been taken as input 4, which was given in stdin. So grayish color means this particular line is just executed. This green color yellow color means that the next line this is about to execute. I print and I can print hello world. You can very well see that input has been managed, but it is printing in the same line. If you want to print things in the next line, move the cursor after 4 to the next line. What do? You write ln. So this, after printing it, will move the cursor to the next line. Okay. This is done. If you want to take a Boolean input, a true false value, so Boolean B is equal to scn dot next Boolean. If you want to take a double input, which is decimal input, scn dot next double. If you want to take a string input, string like several characters embedded within a double quote, string s is equal to scn dot next. If you want to take any other input, I think that is enough you need to know for now. So that's it for this lecture. In this particular lecture, we understood the basic syntax of Java as well as how to manage input and output in a particular language. That's it. Take care. Bye bye. See you in the next lecture.